Have you ever wondered why no aquarium has a great white shark? Aquariums often have several species of sea animals such as fish, sharks, dolphins, and even electric eels. However, great white sharks are rarely found in these enclosures. Are they too big, or just not suitable for aquariums? The great white shark is known for its massive size, intelligence, and distinct appearance. Most people's first encounter with great white sharks is in the movies. The predators were portrayed in films like Jaws, but those movies don't do justice to the sheer size of the great whites. The shark can grow up to 20 feet long, but most are 11 to 16 feet long. For context, that's about triple the size of adult humans. Because of their size, it can be difficult to keep them in an enclosed space such as an aquarium. This large size also makes great white sharks difficult to capture. It's not as simple as putting the shark in a large enough transport container. Great white sharks use a ram ventilation system to breathe, which simply means they need to force water into their gills to collect oxygen and expel carbon dioxide. They need to be constantly moving to make this happen. For a creature of such size, it would take a lot of effort to transport the shark safely to an aquarium. If they slow down, the sharks will begin to have trouble breathing and eventually die. Even if an aquarium has a specialized vessel to transport the shark, the next problem they'll face is injuries to the shark. Great white sharks are very aggressive, and capturing them often leads to serious injuries that can worsen or even lead to their deaths before they reach the aquarium. There have been several attempts to display great white sharks in aquariums since the 1970s. Sadly, only a few sharks survived longer than a couple of months. The longest surviving shark only stayed in the aquarium for 168 days before it was released back into the ocean. They released the shark because it attacked other sharks in the enclosure and killed two. Another reason aquariums don't have great white sharks is the nomadic nature of the sharks. The sharks often migrate to areas for foraging and reproduction. In some cases, they could travel up to 2,500 miles per year. In 2005, a great white shark named Nicole swam 12,000 miles from Africa to Australia for 99 days. This nomadic nature makes them susceptible to illnesses when they are confined, and several failed attempts to confine great whites are a testimony to this fact. Since they are so used to traveling long distances in open water, great white sharks tend to bump into the enclosure walls at the aquarium. In the open sea, they don't need to dodge walls or glass, they just simply swim. The sharks intentionally bump into the glass in an attempt to escape because they are depressed. They do this at the risk of injury, and many die from their wounds. The cost of keeping a great white shark in an aquarium is also very high. In the first place, the aquarium needs a large enclosure to keep the shark. This also means providing millions of gallons of water to keep the shark alive. Of course, they'll need to feed the shark lots of fish. According to John Hosch, the director of husbandry operations at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, it is a resource-intensive program. Aquariums also had to deal with sharks refusing to eat while in the enclosure. In the most recent capture of a great white shark in 2016 in Japan, the shark died only 3 days after it was brought to the aquarium. It refused to eat anything despite getting along well with other sharks in the enclosure. While great white sharks eat fish as they grow older, they may prefer a diet of mammals such as seals and sea otters. They may also prefer to catch their prey alive before they eat it. It is difficult for aquariums to provide this for sharks because some of the mammals are endangered. Getting them in large quantities would not only be expensive, but also unethical.